When the cape becomes a cage, turning your rock bottom into your rebuild. Welcome to Soft Girl Era, the sacred pause Black women have been waiting for. I'm LeAnne Dolce, pronounced Dolce, like sweet softness whispered in French. And I'm your guide from burnout to boundaries, from doing to being, from strong to soft and loving every second of it. Recently, I had the privilege of sitting down with Selah Alexander, an entrepreneur, mother, and mentor whose work is transforming how Black women approach resilience, reinvention, and sustainable success. Selah is not just teaching women to survive, they are teaching women to rebuild with intention, to honor their values without apology, and to create legacies that don't require them to abandon their peace. Through their guidance, countless women have learned that healing and ambition are not opposites, they are partners. And today I want to share the insights from that conversation with you because what Selah taught me, what they've been teaching women for years, is something we all need to hear. Here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. Your current season is not your final destination. Where you are right now, financially, emotionally, professionally, is a chapter, not the whole book. Your circumstances can inform you, but they do not have the right to define you. And yet, how many of us have been walking around like our worst moment is our permanent address? Like the layoff is who we are, like the divorce is our identity, like the business that didn't work out is proof we'll never succeed. Let me tell you something, that's a lie. And it's a lie we've been conditioned to believe because survival mode doesn't leave much room for vision. When you're just trying to make it through the day, it's hard to imagine a future that looks different. But that's exactly why we have to stop confusing our season with our story. I want to talk about a woman. Let's call her Dr. Rosie, who has spent over 20 years mentoring Black women entrepreneurs. Dr. Rosie works with women who have been laid off, pushed out of toxic workplaces, passed over for promotions they earned, underpaid for work they mastered. These women come to her in survival mode. They need money and they need it now. They're scared, they're angry, they're tempted to grab the first opportunity that shows up, even if it's misaligned, underpriced, then or built on fear instead of vision. And here's what Dr. Rosie tells them: let the urgency push you, but do not let it rush you. That sentence right there, that's the difference between building a business and building a legacy. Because urgency is real, bills are real, pressure is real. But when you let urgency rush you into decisions driven by fear, you end up right back where you started, exhausted, underpaid, and wondering why success still feels so far away. Dr. Rosie teaches these women to slow down internally while honoring the urgency of their situation. She helps them treat their ventures as real businesses, not side hustles. She teaches them to separate personal and business finances, open dedicated business accounts, track revenue and expenses systematically. She directs them to community development financial institutions, grants, and pitch competitions that specifically support underserved and minority women entrepreneurs. And she pushes a mindset shift from underpricing to charging what their value is truly worth, moving from scarcity driven decisions to value driven ones. The women who follow this path, they move from survival to building sustainable businesses with clearer financial foundations and more intentional growth. They start seeing their layoff not as an identity, I was fired, but as a catalyst. I used that moment to build with intention. Many transition from unstable jobs to entrepreneurial legacies that support their families and communities. Research shows Black women often start businesses in response to exclusion from traditional employment, being laid off, passed over for promotions, or pushed out of toxic workplaces. In that context, Dr. Rosie has spent 2 decades guiding women from reactionary moves, I just need money now, to grounded strategy, I'm building something that will last. Her clients learn their numbers, secure capital, and price correctly, which are critical milestones in building generational wealth rather than short term hustle income. Many move from single income survival to multi year revenue generating businesses that pay them consistently and support future growth. This approach contributes to the broader rise of Black women entrepreneurship, the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs in the United States. It demonstrates the core message: your layoff is a season, not your identity. With emotional resilience and strategy, you can turn crisis into legacy. Now, let's talk about emotional resilience because that's the foundation of sustainable success. The quality of your emotional state shapes the quality of your decisions. When you're grounded and healed, you stop chasing money from fear and start creating value from vision. Healing and ambition are not opposites, they are partners. But here's where we get it twisted. We think healing means sitting still. We think ambition means grinding until we break. And we've been taught that if we slow down to heal, we'll lose momentum. If we rest, we'll fall behind. If we set boundaries, we'll miss opportunities. That's the superwoman cape talking, and it's time to drop it. Across the country, Black women are redefining success through reinvention. They're leaving careers that no longer serve them, prioritizing mental health, launching businesses, and embracing what's being called the soft life philosophy, choosing peace over chaos, boundaries over people pleasing, and joy over constant struggle. This means aligning how they earn money with how they want to feel, leaving misaligned jobs, building businesses that honor their mental health, and creating systems that support rest and emotional wellness. Many Black women have spent years performing strong Black woman labor, overworking, people pleasing, and tolerating environments that drain them emotionally and spiritually. They often feel stuck in careers or roles misaligned with their values, afraid that change means failure or starting over too late. But Black women are increasingly choosing reinvention as an ongoing right, not something reserved for youth or a particular life stage. Reinvention allows them to build careers and businesses that reflect their values, not just external expectations of success. Many report greater emotional resilience, healthier relationships, and more sustainable professional paths. Success that doesn't require them to abandon their softness or their sanity. Historically, Black women have often been pressured to equate strength with constant struggle. The modern soft life movement among Black women challenges that narrative by asserting that rest, boundaries, and peace are not luxuries, but necessities. Across industries, Black women are launching new ventures, prioritizing mental health, and building new legacies while refusing to shrink themselves or stay where they are merely tolerated. These reinventions reflect a deep internal shift. They no longer define themselves by past roles or hardship, but by their present values and future vision. This collective movement is reshaping cultural narratives about Black womanhood, demonstrating that healing and ambition can coexist and that success can be built on emotional wellness rather than burnout. It aligns squarely with the idea that difficult seasons are preparation, not punishment, and that your identity is rooted in who you're becoming, not what you've survived. Now let's talk numbers because numbers don't lie. Between 2019 and 2024, revenue for Black women owned businesses increased 102.8%, and employment at these firms grew 44.4%. Collectively, these businesses now contribute approximately $390 billion to the economy. Black women are now the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs in the nation, showing sustained success despite often starting from adversity. Many of these businesses grew out of moments that looked like rock bottom, layoffs, toxic workplaces, unequal pay, and lack of promotion. Instead of letting those circumstances define them, these women treated those seasons as preparation for building something greater, aligning with the belief that you are being refined, not punished. Black women entrepreneurs often start businesses in response to discrimination, layoffs, and being managed out of traditional workplaces. They navigate capital access gaps, limited institutional support, and the emotional toll of building while facing racism, sexism, and economic volatility. Many Black women chose to build businesses on their own terms, shifting from job having to business owning and from economically passive to financially assertive leadership. They create multiple income streams, collaborate through teaming agreements, share back office operations, and form entities that allow them to scale beyond individual capacity. They lean into community support, peer networks, and financial literacy, building structures that can withstand changing seasons in the economy and in their personal lives. Scaling from survival to a $390 billion economic force is a testament to resilience, strategic reinvention, and emotional courage. Milestones include rapid revenue growth, job creation, and collaborative business models that allow Black women to win contracts and opportunities once deemed too big for them individually. Beyond numbers, this collective story shows that success is measured by how many times you stand back up and how you build after you rise. It proves that when Black women invest in themselves, their businesses, and their communities, they transform personal adversity into generational impact. But here's the part we don't talk about enough. You must become the person who can sustain the success you're asking for. True success is not just getting the bag, it's keeping your peace, honoring your values, and building a legacy, especially for the next generation, without shrinking yourself or dragging misaligned relationships into your future. Let me say that again. You must become the person who can sustain the success you're asking for. Because what good is the money if you're still emotionally broke? What good is the business if you're still operating from fear? What good is the promotion if you're still people pleasing your way through life? Sustainable success requires emotional maturity. It requires boundaries. It requires the courage to release what no longer serves you, even when it's comfortable, even when it's familiar, even when it's family. So here's what I want you to do. Stop confusing your current season with your identity. Begin describing where you are as a phase, not a verdict. I'm in a rebuilding season, not I'm a failure. Audit one area of life or business where fear is driving your decisions. Ask yourself, am I choosing from scarcity or from vision? Then make one small concrete shift that aligns with your values instead of your fears, whether that's setting a boundary, raising your prices, applying for funding, or releasing a misaligned partnership. Commit to one healing practice and one growth action for the next 30 days. A healing practice might be journaling, therapy, or daily quiet time. A growth action might be learning a financial skill, pitching your services, or revisiting your business model. The goal is to let healing and ambition move together, not in conflict. Your season is not your story. Your circumstances are not your identity. And the version of you that's being built right now, she's worth the wait. She's worth the work. And she's worth the softness it takes to get there. So I'm going to leave you with this. The next time someone asks you who you are, I don't want you to tell them about what happened to you. I want you to tell them about what you're building. I want you to tell them about the woman you're becoming. I want you to tell them about the legacy you're creating, the peace you're protecting, and the life you're designing, not from fear, but from vision. Because your rock bottom That was just the foundation, and now it's time to build.